Alrighty. Hi, hello, welcome in for a comfy, cozy reading. I hope that you're comfy, I hope that you're cozy, and I hope that you're ready for a little reading. I don't really know what's in store for today, so if you feel called, stick around. But I don't really have any intentions going into this other than good intentions, But I don't have any expectations, I should say. Nor should you, to be honest. Let's just see what wants to come out for you. I'm going to do an energy check, as I like to try to do most of the time, just to make sure that this is for you so that something resonates right off the bat. As always, if messages do confuse you, just typically means that it's not for you. Sometimes there's just a need to learn discernment, and that in itself is already a message. But anyways, I feel like I've shuffled enough. I'm just looking for my selenite, so give me a second. I do keep seeing the Knight of Cups when I'm shuffling this deck. So something within like the heart space is very significant. But the Knight of Cups can also signify an offering of some kind being either presented to you, or you could be thinking about presenting an offer to someone revolving the heart space. So this could be a romantic offer. This could just be like a heart-to-heart conversation with somebody. I have no idea, but let's just like dive right in, okay? Let's just dive right in. I already knocked with my selenite. We have the sun on the bottom. I feel like you're in a really good energy. You could be feeling very busy. I am being reminded earlier, I was on a website looking at recipes and there were a lot of pop-ups, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so overwhelming. There's just so many different things popping up. That could resonate for you. You could just feel a little overwhelmed at the moment. Maybe there's just a lot going on, a lot that you're juggling, a lot of opportunities that are being presented to you. I feel like you're having a lot of choices to make at the moment, and like I said earlier about discernment, I feel like that could also be significant for you. Maybe you are being called to be in an energy of using your discernment with certain opportunities and having to come from a place of curiosity, but also from a place of discernment, not projecting onto the situation, but also not allowing your vision to be clouded about the situation. I feel like you're trying to see things as crystal clear as possible. But let's just, and these opportunities could also have to do with people, since I was seeing the Knight of Cups as well, so you could have a lot of different interests at the moment, or a lot of people interested in you, even if you don't have any any people that you're personally interested in at the moment. I saw the Knight of Cups, and now the King of Cups is coming out. Okay. You could resonate with having water in your chart, so Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. That could be in your big three somehow, or just in your chart. But again, it feels like there's just this energy around heart space, around emotional depth of, I was saying to, I can't even remember who I was having this conversation with, to be honest, but that's irrelevant to you anyway. But I was having a conversation with someone recently, and I was talking about how it can, once you start meeting yourself at a deeper level, it can be more difficult to meet other people who have met themselves at the same depth, and it can create kind of like this sense of like isolation. I feel like you're coming into a period of meeting your soul family as well, meeting like a soul tribe. Number 5 could be significant, so like a group of 5 could be super significant for you. You could be maybe integrating into a new friend group, something like that. I don't know, it just feels like there's a sense of community after a period of isolation, or feeling as if there was a period of isolation, even if there were people around you still. It just, you felt like you were kind of like in your own world for a little bit, having your own things to figure out, having your own new depths to reach within yourself. Anyways, that was a little bit of a rant, but I just feel like you're very well respected, and I feel like the universe is trying to make that very known to you at the moment. So you could have people complimenting you, you could be noticing some people maybe getting a little nervous around you. You could be just noticing your the impact that you have on people a little bit more, and it could be like confusing me. You could be like, what's going on? You know, like I feel like there could just be a lot of people noticing you, a lot of people, you grab a lot of attention right now, and I feel like always, but especially right now. I'm sorry if you like bounce, like if the camera bounces. You're like on my bed on pillows, so it's not the most stable setup, but you could also resonate with that just a little bit, feeling as if you may come across more stable than you feel. You may feel like you are kind of a bit of a balancing act, or you feel that way even if you're still doing so very gracefully, you know? It's still a bit difficult no matter how easy you make it seem, no matter how easy you make it look. There could be someone in particular that is having a lot of deep feelings about you though with this King of Water. Can you please give me more? But because this is supposed to be an energy check for you, I feel like you are the energy, you are the person that is having these deep feelings, either these deep realizations about self or deep realizations about other people. Either way, you're very compassionate, you're very well respected because you're very respectful. It takes a lot for people to see that side of you to make you angry. I feel like you're not quick to anger when it comes to people outside of you. You could be a bit quick to anger when it comes to yourself, and maybe those that are like the closest to you sometimes. Like, I'm now being reminded of how like I can be very kind of like quick to anger with my sister, but when it comes to other people, I can be quite patient, or I have a harder time showing my anger is the way that I should phrase it. And I feel like that's kind of how you feel, like you have a lot of anger within you. I feel like a lot of us as humans, with not going through like built up resentment not being dealt with, have a lot of underlying anger that is like ignored or resisted, and that needs to be felt and dealt with in a like healthy way, released, purged in a healthy way. That could be significant. I feel like that's something that you could be working through at the moment, having like an awakening to at the moment, like an awakening to some form of fire within you that you didn't realize that you had. And this goes for passion, but it goes for both sides of the coin. It goes for, you know, the more positive and light side of it, as well as the dark and sometimes seemingly negative side of it. At the end of the day, it's the action that we take in that emotion that is the negative. The emotion itself is not the negative. The emotion itself has a lot to teach you. It has a lot to show you. There are healthy ways of dealing with it. It's just about learning those healthy ways. Society has not given us the tools to do so. Therefore, we have to find them and create them ourselves. But fours are very significant because we have the Four of Water and I have the Four of Earth out here. I'll just show you. These are the cards that came out. Sorry, shiny. But these cards, I feel like, are here to describe you. So, in kind of, like I was saying earlier, the energy that you're in at the moment. So yes, I feel like there's a lot of people that could possibly have like very deep feelings for you that could possibly come out in the tarot more, but I feel like there's a lot of deep feelings within self that you're having realizations about, that you're having awakenings about. This could be in areas of life in your life where you're needing to find balance. This could be in terms of finances, of even just like your mindset towards your finances. I feel like you're trying to find balance in your spending, like not overspending, but also not keeping like a poverty mindset about your money when it's not necessary, like always being scared to lose it, being scared to spend it. I feel like there's a need to give back at this time if you haven't already, because I am feeling like you're in this very generous energy. You are just overwhelmingly a generous person overall, but again, there's a need. I feel like you're somebody who is trying to just find balance in a lot of areas in life right now, trying to not over give, over consume, over hoard even. I feel like there's just a lot of like balance being found at the moment, and I feel like this is in terms of also like over giving. So knowing when to listen to your intuition in terms of when to say yes to giving to someone and when to say no to giving to someone, and knowing when to say yes to yourself and also when to have some more self-discipline with yourself in terms of your own spending. When to trust, just in general. I feel like you're just learning to trust at the moment. Trust yourself, especially. I feel like you're learning to trust yourself, because that's sometimes, that is the hardest part, I think, is learning to trust yourself. I feel like you're being called to look at things from a different perspective at the moment. See yourself from a different perspective. I feel like you're too hard on yourself a lot. And yes, there is so much beauty in wanting to better yourself and wanting to grow as a human and learn more and continue to evolve and adapt and just grow. But too much of anything is not good for us. And I feel like, again, like I was saying earlier about finding balance, I feel like this is one of the areas that you're learning to find balance is in your own perception of yourself and how learning when to rest, learning to know when to rest, knowing when to take a step back, knowing when to see yourself clearly, knowing when to be a little bit harder on yourself and push yourself harder, and knowing when to be easy on yourself and say yes to yourself and allow yourself to rest and to indulge in some of the more pleasures of life, you know, not always working and overdoing it and trying to reach the next checkpoint. You know, I feel like you're learning to slow down. I feel like you're learning to slow down and enjoy the process, the journey, and even the parts of it that sometimes are a bit slower, harder to, some of the energies that are a bit harder to sit in. Like I was talking about that anger earlier. You could be kind of in this energy of FOMO. I've been talking about FOMO a little bit recently, and I was talking about feeling as if you're a little bit isolated. I feel like there could be this energy of working through a little bit of FOMO, a little bit of discontentment, or even boredom, even despite the like overstimulation. I feel like there's this energy of being tired and like bored of the same overstimulation all the time, or the same just stimulation all the time. There's just this like emphasis on opening your eyes to something new, changing your perspective on something. I feel like you're somebody who, again, because of this energy that I was picking up on like not wanting to lose the money that you have, not wanting to fall back into an energy of like overspending or something like that, over consuming, over giving. There's a lot of anxiety tied to expecting the worst, so, you know, having to push yourself even harder. But even in the process, like creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. You could be having a lot of sleepless nights at the moment, just not sleeping well at all. Just keeps coming back to this energy of learning to trust the process, learning to trust yourself, learning to trust that things will work out, even if it's in a way that you didn't imagine, you know? It's like this energy, I feel like you're being called to move on from whatever you've been focused on at the moment. There's this aspect within yourself, something within yourself, like I was talking about earlier with that like discovery and new depth. It's like you've been very focused on something within yourself, working through something within yourself. I'm really picking up on this energy of you're being called to move on from that, to let go from that. You've assessed what you can, you've learned what you can. It's time to move into a new direction and use the knowledge that you've learned. This could even be in the form of like, I'm picturing like outgrowing an environment. Even if you once really enjoyed that environment, it felt like a really good fit for you, it no longer fits for you. It feels very confining. There's something in your life that, despite it once making you happy, now feels very confining, and there's a need to allow yourself to close out the necessary cycles so you can start the new cycles that want to begin for you. This feels very like all over the place. But again, I was talking about like all the pop-up ads, like all these things are happening all at once. And now I'm hearing the song All Falls Down by Lizzie McAlpine. But I feel like it feels bad because certain things are ending, but at the same time you're receiving a lot of blessings, a lot of opportunities, so it's very overwhelming and just it gives whiplash. Yeah, it's like there's a need to not hold on to the things that aren't working out, the things that are kind of falling out of your life, so that, because there's a need to just keep going. There's a need to just allow it to close, keep going. You know, like there's just this energy of don't look back. And just allow yourself to be yourself. I feel like whatever things are ending or things that need to end, things, environments, people that don't want you to be yourself, that don't want you to shine brightly, that don't give you space to be yourself. I feel like those, whatever is falling out of your life are things that are not meant for you. And I feel like that's why there's a big need to trust that sometimes things don't work out the way that you imagine, and that's okay. Things are still working out for you. It just doesn't feel like it because it's not in the way that you imagine, but you have to trust that it still is. And if things really don't feel right, if you are truly unhappy in anything, you do have the power to change your life. You have the power to leave your job. You have the power to change your course, to leave the school program that you hate, to leave the city that you hate. You have the power, you have the control, you have the free will. Yes, there's divine timing, there's guidance, but whatever is meant for you will truly never pass you by. And if you are truly unhappy, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. And if you don't change it, the cycle may very well close on its own, or you could possibly be stuck in a repeat. It just depends on you and your individual journey and your individual path. But I just feel like we forget along the way that we hold the power and the control in our lives. We just have a lot more power to change things that we don't like in our lives than, so I feel like we want to admit, because sometimes it's easier to just say like, oh, it is what it is. You know, I am what I am who I am, than to change. You know, it's so much easier to stay stagnant, but it's also a much more lackluster path to take. It's very draining. And you're really focused on growth, you're really focused on change. Let me see. On becoming a better version of yourself. Yeah, you're releasing big ties to a lack mindset. This can be even tied to like childhood. You could have lived in lack as a child, with either in like neglect or not a lot of money growing up, maybe even both. Just an environment that did not make you feel safe or stable. You really had to learn what confidence is to you on your own. You didn't have a good representation of it growing up. You really had to create your own idea of a leader, of what your kind of ideal person looks like, what your ideal self looks like, what your definition of a good person is, and how you want to represent that to the world. Because I feel like you didn't have very good representations of that growing up, and you kind of had to really figure that out on your own. But you are having a lot of things coming into you, and there's like, I'm picturing like ships docking. Can you please tell me more about what is attracting in for the person watching this? What is attracting in for them? Clarity. You're about to have something really open up in your mind. Like a door open up. I feel like an epiphany of some kind, like something, a very important dot is about to connect in your mind. You're about to have an epiphany. I feel like, again, something about your own fire, about your own spark, about your own sense of self. I feel like something that's really kind of like dying within you is your sense of cringe, your sense of embarrassment. I feel like your fear of embarrassment. The things that were really, that your ego's allowing to block you from blossoming, from blooming into the most confident version of yourself. The version of yourself that really doesn't care what other people think. If you're weird, if you're strange, if you're odd, if you're a freak, like whatever. I feel like you're learning to not care about the perception of you. Oh, okay, so there is somebody in your energy as well. King of Swords energy, this is somebody very stoic, very like poker face, and that song by Lady Gaga is also significant because now I'm hearing it in my head. But 2 aces, this is somebody new. This is somebody that you could be having your own epiphanies about feelings wise as well, but this could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Does not have to be. It can just kind of represent who they kind of are as a person, but very logical, very, very intelligent. Sometimes too smart for their own good, but this person has a big feelings for you. Ravens or crows could be significant, bats could also be significant, and owls could be significant. Mountains could be significant, and moths or dragonflies as well could be significant. This is somebody new. This is somebody that you have not been with before. This is not somebody from the past. This is somebody brand new. This is somebody that I don't even think you've like been intimate with, been on a date with, nothing like that. Like you haven't even held this person's hand. You may, I feel like you know this person. Do they know this person? I feel like your paths have crossed. I feel like you guys are like, I'm picturing like red string theory, like you guys are kind of intertwined in the sense of you cross paths a lot. I don't know how close of a connection you guys have, but you guys are very like in the same web of life. Like you guys cross paths a lot. You guys see each other in passing. You could be mutual friends. You could work together. You could shop at the place that they work or vice versa. You could even just see each other on social media for all I know. But there is some form of knowance, like knowing, is that even a word? I'm gonna have to Google that after, but knowing of each other. Just not, I'm not getting, I feel like for the depth that is felt, there is not that deep of a physical connection. What do we have here? Page of Cups. Yeah, it's very surface level. It's very, this person wants to offer more. They want to, this is also just confirming that this person really wants to ask you out on a date. Like, this person really likes you. It's giving like, I'm getting giddy. This is giving like high school crush just a little bit. 6 of Cups, you do know this person. And it feels like you know, again, it feels like there's a much deeper connection than what there is physically at the moment. Like mentally, spiritually, emotionally, it feels like there's something much deeper. Like this commitment that y'all don't even, that you didn't think that you signed up for, you know, just, I don't know. Just feel like there was a contract signed that you don't recall, that you don't remember, that you didn't sign. I don't know. Let's see for me. Yeah, I feel like you're really learning, sorry, interacting in this energy of balance, of using this like new level of passion that you're learning about yourself and not taking it to the extreme of being reckless or overdoing it or over consuming. You're just allowing yourself to feel alive and feel like a human and feel like I'm hearing a kid again, like have fun, be playful. You're allowing yourself to use this passion that you're rediscovering to lead you to this like wish fulfillment type of energy, like discover this wish fulfillment energy within yourself in a very divine way. I feel like in a very intuitive way. I feel like you're allowing this passion within you, this connection with your inner child to guide you and kind of help you see what it is you truly want out of life, kind of help redirect you a little bit, help you make the right decision. It feels like you're consulting yourself and your inner child about what you truly want in life, and you're trying not to allow the pain from the past to stop you from having a beautiful life now, to reaching that fulfillment type energy. The Seven of Cups came out and it flew right over the Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, and King of Swords. So you have options. You are attracting in a lot of different people. This person is also very aware that you have options. And I feel like it brings them a little bit of anxiety. It could be what is kind of lighting this fire under their butt because they feel like they need to get to you before somebody else does. These are things that I'm picking up. They're coming out as a masculine energy, but gender not specific. You're coming out as a more feminine energy, but again, gender not specific, it's just energy. But you're just shining very brightly, and again, all this wand, all this fire energy, you could have fire in your chart, Aries, Leo, Sag. I don't think I mentioned that before when I saw the King of Wands, but it could be it could be in your big three, or it could just be in your chart somewhere, but I just am heavily picking up on the energy of you rediscovering the fire within you, the fire that I don't think you even really thought you had, to be honest. The confidence, the light that you didn't think you had. I feel like you're getting the light back in your eyes. I was envisioning that trend on TikTok where it's like people showing like back when they were going through a harder time in their period in their life, and then now, and like the difference in their eyes and how they have like the light back in their eyes, and it's just such a beautiful trend. But I was picturing that, and I feel like that's kind of like this transition that you're going through, this awakening, this change that you're going through in life, and you're gaining the light back in your eyes, and I just feel like it's a beautiful thing, and people are noticing that there's just this like life to you, there's a light to you, there's this just excitement and like fire to you. People have a lot to say to you. People really want to bring justice in. It's like a matter of just waiting for the right time, I just heard. Clarify a crush. Whoa, 2 of Cups on the bottom and the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups, I should say. Somebody's really had an epiphany that helped them close out a cycle that's going to help them bring this into you, like this acknowledgement, this physical connection to complete the emotional, spiritual connection that is like building and brewing and bubbling between the two of you. I feel like you also have a lot to say at the moment. I feel like you are somebody who could be very good with your words, but this could be something that has changed over time. Maybe you didn't used to be good with your words, and now you are very, what's the word, eloquent? Is that the word? Linguistic? I don't know. I don't know if either of the words work, but I'll Google that after too. But I feel like you carry yourself differently, you talk differently, you talk about yourself differently, and I feel like that's something that is also bringing a lot of justice into your energy. Is you're changing the way that you speak to yourself, therefore you change the way that you speak to others, even if you aren't like noticing it, you're still doing it, you know? Is there anything else you want them to know before I finish that? The Emperor, as you embody this energy of taking control, taking initiative, and taking care of yourself, you're attracting in somebody who does the same for themselves and has enough to give to you as well. As you are learning to cooperate with yourself, collaborate with yourself, work with yourself rather than against yourself, you're attracting in people who want to collaborate with you, who want to build a community with you, who want to work with you and build things with you, who want to amplify your light, not dim your light, and also people who want to grow and change along with you. I feel like as you are learning to fill your cup so much that it's overflowing so that you have enough to give to other people, you're attracting in the same in return. You're not attracting in people with empty cups looking to be filled. You're attracting in people with full cups looking to fill. That sounded a little dirty, but take it however it resonates. Anywho, I'm gonna leave it here. You are a beautiful soul. 3 of Cups. You're attracting in your soul family, your soul tribe. That's just confirmation there for you. As this video is just confirmation for you. As always, don't take things too seriously. Don't take these videos too seriously. It's just confirmation for what your intuition has been trying to get through to you. Us readers are really just messengers at the end of the day. So it's up to you to use your discernment for what is for you and what isn't for you, because these are too collective as well. So there's going to be a lot of different messages for a lot of different people. Just depends on what is for you and what is for someone else. So don't get too lost in the sauce. Alright? Alright. I'll see you in the next one, whenever that is. I want to start posting more on here. It's just hard. I'm a busy girl. I'm really trying to make a life for myself. So I'm busy, but I love y'all. And I hope for nothing but the best for you. Let me know how this resonates, because I love hearing about that stuff. And if you do want to see more content by me, I do post vlog content more. That's on Sarah Jean 777 or Sarah Jean 333, because I also have a TikTok account under one of those as well, so I do get them confused. But there should also be a link tree or a link somewhere for the account. So if you're interested, you can find it. I love you.